So, YouTube demonetized me, permanently revoking my possibility of joining the YPP YouTube Partnership Program. Because I've titled videos and live streams, haha, 9/11 happened, jump out, Qaeda won, Osama bin Laden was a hero. All of this not illegal to say. Other platforms, other channels have used these same phrases, and free speech should cover that, and titling a video or stream a certain way, as long as it's not violating law or anyone else's rights or causing direct harm, I'm pretty sure they can't be as restrictive as they want to be. When you title something, haha, 9/11 happened, but 911, not 9/11, does not refer to 9/11/2001. And haha, 9/11 happened, jump. Al-Qaeda won. Al-Qaeda won what? So apparently someone's butthurt, someone's offended within the American government and within YouTube. How many veterans do you guys hire a year? Osama bin Laden was a hero. Nobody's trying to present any form of misinformation. And I'm not sure if it's mostly opinion, but it could be a regional opinion. Not every region has the same opinion. So titling something a certain way is partial opinion and partial fact, depending on how you perceive it. So when you go and you search hashtag Al-Qaeda, hashtag ISIS, hashtag Osama, hashtag terror, hashtag terrorism, hashtag terrorist, hashtag terrorists, you can actually see YouTube promoting that and supporting that. So what does that make YouTube? A violent criminal organization. A supporter of violent criminal organizations. The American military is a violent criminal organization, depending on how you see it. Does the U.S. Army and all the other branches, do they have YouTube channels? I'm pretty sure they do. No jumper. Promoter, supporter, glorifier of criminality, gangbanging, and domestic terrorism. Key and Peele did a skit with Comedy Central titled Al-Qaeda Meeting. Rappers mention Osama bin Laden, the Taliban. Some even mention 9/11. And that's covered by free speech, right? So what's the difference between a vocalized, audible word coming through the video versus text letters and numbers? What do they call that? Characters, numbers and letters. How is it more offensive to title something? I guess it's, I suppose some see it as a headline, but I mean, you can title a song Rainbows and Sunshines and then talk about complete violence. So, I messed up. I'm the one who's titling something wrong. Meanwhile, I have a song, this song, literally against this country, I guess. I have a diss song. On USA, against USA, whatever. However, a disrespect song. Yeah. And I used a microphone with voice changer and auto-tune. So I can literally say in that song, which I didn't fully, but I did say ha at the beginning of the song. I'll play it right now. But nonetheless, I can make a song right now, and I can say, haha, 9/11 happened, jump, Al Qaeda won, Osama bin Laden was a hero. I can make that the chorus, the repeated chorus throughout the whole song. I'm allowed to publish that to YouTube. But if I title that via text, it's not allowed. Make it make sense. So furthermore, we have a lot of violent videos of live feedings, animals being fed other animals, even wildlife videos. You can see animals killing other animals. That's violent. You have all these news station channels for years and years publicizing content about terrorism and terrorists. That's legal. That's okay. All these documentary channels that make documentaries on ISIS and Al Qaeda and whoever else. That's okay. Or all these motorcycle clubs, all these mafia organizations. They get documentaries done on them, and that's okay. That's representation of a violent criminal organization. The channel itself then becomes a supporter of a violent criminal organization. What does that make the channel? A violent criminal organization. Or an affiliate of one. So even if it's a documentary perspective or factual based presentation, it's still supporting the cause of quote unquote violent criminal organizations or terrorists. And what is this country? Are they terrorists? I've seen this country drone strike children through 2 different presidencies, Obama and I guess 3, maybe, probably 3. We have Obama, Biden, and Trump. All 3 of them, I think, have murdered children accidentally through their military, conducting drone strikes on foreign countries. We have 50 states that are the sizes of we have 50 states where most are bigger than most other countries out there. We have 400 million people, and I don't care about anybody else's fear of other governments or countries. I am personally afraid of India and China and their combined population of about 3 billion people and their capabilities of just hooking up a bunch of computers, sending out drones, and drone striking 400 million people within, a minute and a half or so. And then our response is to nuke them, and then we just basically end the Earth. Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid of both provocation, retaliation, and the end of the world. World War III is going to be fun. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to be so fun. Everyone's cyber ego is just going to disappear in a second. So this is okay, right? So this is okay, right? That's okay? So if I sing it, it's legal. But if I type it, it's illegal. Does that make any sense? So what part of the title? They're not even telling me what part of the title that was offensive. So how am I supposed to, even after being demonetized, know what not to type? Haha, 911 happened, jump. Is that wrong? Or is it Al Qaeda won? Is that wrong? Or is it Osama bin Laden was a hero? Or is it all wrong? Is every selective there's three phrases or whatever. There's three segments in the title as to why I'm demonetized and permanently banned from the YPP YouTube partnership program. So, three sections. Haha, 911 happened, jump. That literally does not mention 9/11/2001. That says 911. That's not illegal to say. Haha, 911 happened, jump. So if a comedian titled it, because I came up with this, which is hilarious, if a comedian titled it, haha, 9/11 happened, white men can jump, or something along the lines of 9/11 happened, white men can jump, that's okay though. So, the second segment is Osama bin Laden was a hero. Is that opinion or fact? Both. It's both opinion and fact, because certain people believe that he's a hero. Most Americans would assume and more than likely believe that he's not a hero, especially the law enforcement and cybersecurity forces. So, when some Muslim or Arabian populations or regions probably believe that and probably present that on a daily basis, in person, online, whatever it is, who knows? I'm assuming people do, especially considering how big Osama bin Laden's family is and how much they probably miss him and how much they probably promote his presence one way or another. So, oh wait, that was actually the last part. That was the last segment. The second segment is Al-Qaeda 1, yeah, okay, so now we're on to the third segment. So, wait, so what is wrong with saying Al-Qaeda 1, the second segment? Al-Qaeda 1, did they defeat something? Did they win a trophy or an award? Me saying Al-Qaeda 1, along with haha 911 happened, jump, does not mean anything in reference to 9/11/2001 or America or Al-Qaeda attacking America. Al-Qaeda won a trophy. Al-Qaeda won an award. Al-Qaeda won a war. Al-Qaeda won a political debate. I don't know. Who knows? I have never done much research on Al-Qaeda, so how would I know? How would you know? Thirdly, Osama bin Laden was a hero. He was, to some. And in my opinion, he forced us all to think differently about security overall. Pearl Harbor didn't provoke that thought, but when Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda did 9/11/2001 attacks, they provoked a lot of anger. They provoked a lot of cyber ego that was developing through the up-and-coming internet, the up-and-coming electronics connected to the internet, the World Wide Web. So, Pearl Harbor, 2,600 people dying in Hawaii by Japan, doesn't deem Japan and Japanese people as a violent criminal organization or violent criminals part of a violent criminal organization. 1941, Pearl Harbor. 60 years later, Al-Qaeda does what they do. So intensely and so, let's say, so intensely and perhaps at such perfect timing as the internet came out, it forced George Bush and the country to react harshly and go above 20 years pretending like we cared, but realistically we allowed 500,000 plus unhoused citizens to amount to 800,000 plus to this day, suffering unhoused. So, yeah, we're devoting ourselves to 3,000 New Yorkers. Us taxpayers are paying for these soldiers to be at war. They're just kind of siphoning money and siphoning pensions, lifelong pensions, just to go what's in the desert. Apparently, at some points, sometimes possibly raping females of those communities, and maybe even impregnating them on purpose. Who knows? So, my family and my upbringing, we struggled because people want to fight over a non-existent God and money that they don't barely even own, territory that they think that they're really defending, that they think that they're defending, but they're not defending. If you wanted to defend those 3,000 people and avenge those 3,000 people, you wouldn't have allowed the building to be attacked to begin with, but then furthermore, you were being greedy, putting a whole bunch of people in tall buildings and then not protecting it. Clearly, you were being greedy because you weren't protecting it. Then you go to war for 20 years just to retreat and prove that the devotion to the 3,000 New Yorkers wasn't even true and valid. It was a mirage. It was a lie. It was deception. And you didn't care about those 3,000 people because there's now 800,000 plus unhoused citizens in your country. I keep calling things out like this, and on top of all of that, we've been capable of building skyscrapers since 1885 for 141 years now. And you keep telling people you're on a wait list for housing. You're on a wait list for housing. You have 800,000 plus unhoused citizens, and you've had 250 years to figure out how to keep people housed and stable. And you haven't even provided the basic necessities for people, as in housing. You want to make people unhoused and desperate to teach them what lesson? That our ancestors got fucked over by the current control and status of the world and the people who have power within it, the politicians and the law enforcement who abuse their power, and bully citizens, torture citizens. I'm a sound torture victim of 3+ years, and it's barely phasing me. It is barely phasing me. 3+ years of vehicular and general sound torture and mockery in coordination with my movements and speech, and I'm still standing strong and speaking clear. Now, keep up, because I'm not losing. So, "18 people died behind your sound torture program. Maybe you should fix that. #Lewis and Strong."